security's all lined up like a firing squad, ready to shoot you out the sky. But don't lose heart. While they're not easily defeated, they are far from invincible. Remember, this is a grind. The battle royale between you and your mind and body and the devil on your shoulders, telling you that this is just a game. This is just a waste of time. Your opponents are stronger than you. Drown out the voice of uncertainty with the sound of your own heartbeat. Burn away yourself down to the fire beneath you. Remember what we're fighting for and never forget that momentum is a cruel mistress. She can turn out a dime with the smallest mistake. She is ever searching for the weak place in your armor, that one tiny thing that you forgot to prepare for. So as long as the devil is hiding the details, the question remains, is that all you got? Are you sure? And when the answer is yes, and you've done all you can to prepare yourself for battle, then it's time to go forth and boldly face your enemy, the enemy within. Only now you must take that fight into the open, into hostile territory. You're a lion in a field of lions, all hunting the same elusive prey with a desperate starvation that says victory is the only thing that can keep you alive. So believe that voice that says you can run a little faster and you can throw a little harder, and that for you, the laws of physics are merely a suggestion. Luck is the last time we should those who want to believe that winning can happen by accident. Sweat, on the other hand, is for those who know it's a choice. So decide now, because destiny waits for no man. When your time comes and 1,000 different voices are trying to tell you you're not ready for it, listen instead to that lone voice at the center. The one that says you are ready, you are prepared. It's all up to you now. So rise and shine.
Great morning, everybody. Jumping on the grind this morning. Rise and grind. You know. Great morning, everybody. Jumping on the grind. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it's another great day for us to wake up and to be great. How you doing, Mr. Nathan McCray?
Good. Your side is over there, man. You go on your side. I'm pretty much done with you, pretty much done, man. Jeez. I got a job opening, y'all. I got a job opening right now. I'm going to need a new partner. I need a new show host. I need a co-host over here, man.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let me tell you, Nate's come running down the steps looking at me like, you know, what? And I'm like, I don't know. You got everything set up to go automatic. What you mean? What you looking at me? And one song playing, he's like, no, like I'm supposed to know that? I don't know. But
what I had said was that 10 minutes ago.
Okay, well, I didn't know that wasn't that song. So, okay. You know, I'm not good with names and songs and
I'm
who
gonna
do
need
this
a minute,
and who do
y'all.
that.
I'm gonna need a minute. Let me tell you right now. I really need a minute. Wow. Can y'all hear us okay?
You need a Coke? No,
yeah, come on. I'm gonna let you come on in the screen some more. I don't need any more coffee. I'll tell you right now. If I get any more alert, then I need to ask you. You haven't even.
No, I haven't finished my
You're a quarter way
coffee.
through your coffee. I need you to drink faster.
My first cup of coffee for the day.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
But I did have my NutriBurst and my
It ain't working. It didn't work. Yeah. Can y'all hear us okay? We need to get a mic check.
Oh,
we need to get a mic check, y'all. Make sure he is. We got a new mic.
Real
Okay.
people,
real
life, real results.
And we're going to talk about some of that today for real, okay? For real, because, man, you know, I'm going to let Pam review what we went over on the last two episodes. Well, last two parts of the Power Series, right? This is the Power Series.
Yes,
this is part numero uno, dos, tres, part 3 of the Power Series, and it is define and dominate, right? So Pam initially said, you know, this is the realest show ever. Pam said, I thought it was recover and dominate. I said, no, I changed it. It's define.
He did it. Like he just changed it like 2 seconds ago, right?
So yeah.
I'm very good at note taking. That's one thing that I'm very good at. Okay.
Yeah. She good at note taking.
You never know, you know, with Nathan McCray. But I said no worries because I go with the flow. You see, and so you know that's cool to know. So
we're creating our own. Let me say this. I created my own space. Let me say that. So whenever I get something that is pressed down and shaken together and running over, I go ahead on and I change it because this is the grind. It's the realest show ever. And guess what? We make the rules here.
That's right.
All right. So it's what we say goes. Right. So
and that's wonderful. And hey, I'm cool with that. But the last 2 episodes, as we've been talking about the Power series, we kicked it off with really the discoveries, what we really talked about to be able to uncover, kind of backing things up. Sometimes you got to slow down in order to speed up. Sometimes you have to back up in order to move forward, in order to really discover, what things are maybe in our life that are holding us back, what things, began to happen in our lives as the wheels began to wobble, because we realize that the wheels don't just fall off, right? That they've been wobbling for a little minute. And so we got to back up in order to really identify, those things that are happening or have happened in our life, so that now we can begin to really spend that time with ourselves in order to really discover what we have on the inside that really needs to be ignited, right? In order to really take our lives, our businesses, our goals, to be able to accomplish the dreams that we have on the inside of us, to make them become our reality. So we got to discover those things. We also talked about it being you versus you, right? Really and truly, you got to take the time to look at that man in the mirror and to really understand that it's you versus you. All right. We are the one, we have to deal with us. We have to deal with self in order to, move ourselves forward. And so taking the time to look at that man in the mirror and really beginning to work on us, because many times we have to separate in order to begin to create, right? So you got to separate in order to begin to create the things that we want to create in our life. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of what we talked about as we're discovering to uncover, the power that really is within each and every one of us. So, yeah. So now we pick it back up with today, part 3, as we are, what we doing today? Define and dominate, everybody. Define and dominate.
Let me tell you guys why this is so important, because you have to think of yourself. Yeah, you have to pull yourself from this box that you think you're in, that you put yourself in, and you have to create a brand new life for yourself. Now, some of you guys are saying, I've actually already done that. I've created a brand new life for myself, and I'm good. Then maybe I'm not talking about you, right? Maybe you're good. Maybe you're just listening to this show for a little bit of affirmation, right? But I'm going to cover some things with you guys today, and I'm trying to decide on whether I want to give it all to you or give it to you later on another show.
Well, we have another Friday to close out the series.
We could close out the series today if we want to.
You're right.
Right? Trying to pull out that box, y'all. Trying to pull out that
You're
box.
Absolutely right.
Let's do this.
When you create your own lane, you can do what you want to do, right? When you want to do it, how you want to do it.
There it is.
There you go.
All right, so let me do it like this. I'm trying to get on IG, guys, real quick, and I get on Pam for doing this. So.
Well, that's all good. But as we continue forward, with what we got today,
so
just really realizing that it's our decisions that actually sculpt our destiny, right?
Right, and we talked about that in the last couple of parts to this. I'm having trouble with live videos. What do you mean? What do you really mean?
Not liking it today. Sounds like
right.
Yeah.
What kind of witchcraft is this?
That sounds like it's a little bit of
They do whatever they want to do also.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's try to make later is what it wants you to do.
Oh, okay.
Try me again later. You need to close that out and try it all over again. Sometimes you got to back up in order to move forward, right? Slow down.
Try to use long words on
forward. So when you X all the way out, you take that thing all the way back, and guess what? Now you're ready to build upon something new, right? You're ready to start that thing all over again, and to really recognize that this thing can work.
You learn this. This is my best people right here.
Forward, right?
I'm trying to
and look, now
we are live on IG. We slowed down
all the way out
to move forward. Slowed down to speed up. Okay,
right.
So thank you guys for jumping on. Tell somebody the grind is on, because I promise you, what's going to happen today is you're going to learn how to absolutely define and dominate. So remember, we're still in the bubble. right? You're still in the
Right.
bubble.
The bubble.
I heard a very profound statement the other day, and it was from a man, E.T., and give him credit for it because I know he stole it from somebody else. So I'm gonna give him credit for it a couple of times. But he said that you have to learn to monetize free, and I said that because, and I'll say it again, monetize free. So he said that because you have to learn to ebb and flow with what's going on in the world, right? But just in general, before all of this stuff ever happened, that was still a very, very profound statement, right? So how do you monetize free? Your monetizing free means that your personal power is strong enough. You have enough personal power to sell you, right? So it doesn't matter what you give away for free, right? It's always you. It's always like I heard my man say, another dude pretty much said, only give credit the first time, right? So I heard another dude say, well, nobody wants to show up to the party first, right? Nobody wants to be the first person to the party. So what does that mean? We get up, we get ready to go to the party, and we don't want to get there until about 11, right? We don't want to get there. What are you doing? Okay. We don't want to get there till about 11. So we want to get there when everybody else is there, right? The party is already started. It's already kicked off. Everybody then had a few drinks, and we want to walk in and be like, okay, this is a popping party. But nobody wants to be that first person, right? So what do?
Show up late.
They show up late, but what does the venue typically do?
Keep it moving.
Venue in the beginning, in order to get people there, what do? First, they give away something for free, right? They say, okay, the first 50 people in, you get in for half price. So it's $10 to get in, $5 to get in,
right.
Or hey, you get in for free. So you get everything popping. Everybody now, when the people that show up that don't want to be the first to the party, then they show up, it's already going. Guess what? The party's already started. So let's bring this thing home with your life. You have to be the party starter, right?
That's
you
good.
have to be the person that says, okay, I'm doing this, and right now I'm not getting anything for it. I'm not being paid for it. I'm not getting there's nothing in this for me right now except growth. Right? That's it. There's no money in it. It's just growth. It's me learning my craft. It's me figuring out who I am. It's me jumping on my own bandwagon. It's me being my number one cheerleader. It's me. It's all about me. Right? Pam just rehashed everything that we talked about over the last two parts of the Power Series, right? So now we're in the third part, which is define and dominate. We're in the bubble. We're still in the bubble. Okay, remember, this is all about you.
Right.
It's all about self. Everything that you do in the bubble applies to you.
Right.
Okay, so here's the first thing you have to do. We actually talked about, Pam. We talked about writing down all of the things that you don't have. All of the things that you are not, right? What are your shortcomings? What are the things that you suck at, right? So when you wrote all of those things down, you discovered them because you wrote them down, right? And then we uncovered them. We let them know, hey, I know you're there, right? I know you're there. I'm gonna kick you out, right? Let me go ahead and get you out of here right now because I need to free up some space, right? I need to free, just like me, when I got fired from corporate America, they needed to free up some dollars, right? It was like, you can pay too much. Let's just free up some money and get rid of you, and we can pay a couple people, right? and we can still save some money on our end of year budget, right? So now you needed to free up some space. You learned how to do that in the first two parts of this. You freed up some space. So this is what it should really look like for you guys. And I want you guys, if you got pen and paper, if you guys are taking notes, if you happen to be that high speed this morning, I want you to visualize this in your mind if you don't have pen and paper, okay? I want you to visualize what we call the reverse bullseye, okay? The reverse bullseye. And I did this quite some time back, right? And And it's one of the things that's kind of boosting me forward, that's allowing me to realize what God has for me. And we're going to talk about tribe here in a moment as well, right? Because I want you guys to get this and write that down, keep me honest. We're going to talk about tribe here in a moment and what that really means, because there's no way that you can define and dominate, guys, if you don't understand what tribe really means. TRIBE. Okay, so here's and guys, you have to symbolize this in your mind. I know some of you may not be symbologists. I'm not either. But the reality is, there's certain ways I process things in my brain that helps me move forward, that helps me not stay stagnant. And to be quite honest with you, tribe is going to be a big part of why it's important, to have a tribe for this to work, right? So let's think about this reverse bullseye. You've defined what you actually suck at, what's bad in your life. You've kicked out procrastination. What else you kick out, Pam?
Self-limiting beliefs.
Self-limiting beliefs.
Fear, doubt, anxiety, worry. What else? I think we said lack of belief.
All of them things that's holding you back, right? All that stuff.
Holding you back.
Yeah, all that stuff that's making you suck at most of the things that you do. We're going to talk about you in a minute here as well.
People who don't believe in you.
People who don't believe in you. So we've kicked all of those people out because we discovered them, we uncovered them. And in the first two parts, guys, we kicked all of that stuff out. So you guys should feel pretty lonely right now. Right? It's just me. You should be looking, just me and you, self.
That's right.
We hanging out here. Here we go. What we going to do?
Now what you going to do next?
You've kicked everything out, right? So you wrote all of that down. So now, guys, it's time to write down all of the things that you really want. I want you to start writing those down, because we're going to actually go through that a little later, or tell you why that's so important here a little later, right? So you define what you really didn't want. Now you write down what you really want. Now I'm not talking about what you really want. I'm not talking about what you want with the lid on it. Guys, I'm not talking about your limiting beliefs. You got rid of all of that. I'm talking about, what do you really, capital REALLY, really want? That thing that you thought you couldn't have, and you weren't having because you had all of this stuff. You've kicked that out. It's just you, me, myself, and I. It's just you in there. So what do you really want? Start writing that down right now, and let's see what that looks like, right? Right. So once you start writing that down, guys, now I want you to make that reverse bullseye. Okay. I want you to draw that circle. And when you draw that circle, this bullseye has three different parts to it, right? You've got the center, of course. Everybody shoots for the bullseye, right? You've got the center, you've got the second ring, and you've got the third ring. So you've got three different parts to that bullseye, right? So the reverse bullseye aspect of this, I'm actually move this over here. Yeah. It's going to be what it's going to be. Like that a little bit. Yeah, we'll move over like that. No, guys, I'm trying to get this right. Yeah, how's that?
Catch the corner of your head.
That'll work.
Okay.
So this reverse bullseye, it started off red. Okay, everybody sees the red, right? And then you've got the two different rings, right? So the ring, when it started off red, just imagine that everybody was throwing darts at you. You were the bullseye, right? Because you had all of these self-limiting beliefs, you had all of this procrastination, all of this doubt, all of this fear, everything was there. Excuses. We said last week that you can't breathe life into a dream, into a vision that's being choked by excuses. Right? You can't breathe life into a vision that's being choked by excuses.
Right.
So you got all of these people throwing all of these situations and things, throwing darts at you. You're the red bullseye. Now let's reverse that thing. Okay, let's reverse it. Let's use the same bullseye. All right, but let's make that bullseye, the center of it, green now. Okay, so now if you've done all of that, now your bullseye has three different colors: green, yellow, and red. Okay, the green is your core. Write that down. The green is your core. You protect that at all costs, right? The yellow is the lobby.
Mm.
The yellow is the lobby.
That's good.
The red is the parking lot. Okay. So green is the core, right? That's your tribe. Okay. That's you, and that's your tribe. But right now it's you. The yellow is the lobby. That's the potential of a situation. That's the potential of a person. That's the potential of a thing, right? It's sitting in the lobby waiting to hopefully, possibly, maybe someday get into the core, right? But the core is controlled by you. The red is the parking lot. We call that the unknown, right? So you guys get the theme here. The theme is, the goal is to push the red as far away from your core as you can until you can vet it, until you can actually look at it and say, what is this? Let me break this down. What does it look like? I'm not talking about being over analytical. I'm talking about protecting your core. So the green is the core. That's yours. The yellow is the lobby, which is the potential things that can move into the core. And the red is the parking lot, which is the unknown. So what you've just done is you've pushed the unknown far enough out so that give it a chance to filter its way into, to grow its way into your green level, which is your core. Okay, guys, this is the premise that I have followed for a long, long time. I just happen to put some colors to it and a couple and 3 circles, right? But this is the things that people say. Oh, well, you don't get along with people. You don't like people. No, it's not that I don't get along or like people. I'm careful who I deal with, right? I can love everybody. I was called to do that. I don't have to like everybody.
Right.
I don't. I have to let the people in that are going to help me move forward, and I can help them move forward. Okay. So hopefully you guys got that, right? So now you've got this little green part, right? You got your thing. Look, check this out. See that right there? That's my core. This been happening for a long time, y'all. Right? Those little sticky things around. Yeah, that's the unknown. This has been happening for. It's a mindset. When you change the way you look at things, man, what happens?
Things around you begin to change.
You begin to change. But right. It starts with YOU. Okay? It starts with you. So when you look at this, now when you start thinking about training it and challenging it, because now you've got just you in this core, guess where it's been before? It's been pressed down. It ain't been shaken together, and it ain't been running over. It's just been pressed down with all of this nonsense on top of it, because I can imagine at this point, Pam, that you've got some, what do you call that stuff with your legs when you're some atrophy? You got some atrophy in your muscles. Your muscles have gotten very small. Your smiler is broken. Your dreamer is broken. You don't know how to move, ebb and flow, because you've been pressed down by all of these things that are holding you down.
Right.
And now you're finally free. You're up. You dusted yourself off, and now you're like, okay, now I got to learn how to walk again, because the person and the people, the places, the things that were in there were called your oppressors, and they were causing you to be on a journey with a fake person headed to a fake purpose. Right? So now here you are. Some of y'all are here. Y'all, this is like resonating with you right now, because you've done some things. You've actually applied the things that I'm talking about right now. So here you are. Right? Here you are. Now you're dusting yourself off, and you're trying to figure out how to move forward. Right?
Well, I agree with you. And when you think about the fact that now that you're all dusted off, now is the perfect time for you to begin to rebuild that thing and to really identify the things that you need to do in order to strengthen that core. Right. You know, what are the things that you have to do now in order to grow? And it's a daily grind. It's a daily work to be able to, work on you, to now take the things that are going to strengthen you, to now add the pieces that are going to help you to really understanding the power that you have and who you can really become. When you get rid of the fear, when you get rid of the nonsense, when you get rid of the things that have been holding you back because you've identified, you've uncovered them, you've now been able to really, look clearly into the mirror. Now the only thing that you can do now is make a decision, right? Because our decisions determine and sculpt our destiny. You have to decide, now what do I need to do in order to become who I need to become.
Absolutely.
And so,
how do you get that? How do you get your legs back? That's how do you get your
number one. You got to decide you want to walk.
Got to decide you
right?
got to make a decision. So here's the piece. I'm gonna give it to you. Then we can maul it over a little bit, right? So when you were laying under all of that stuff that wasn't serving you, you didn't know what to do because you were doing something that was out of sort. It didn't make you an original. You became an imposter, right? So it was an imposter. You're no longer original. Now you stand up and you're an original. Now you're saying, okay, God, I missed it the first time. I want to get it right this time.
Right.
So what are the things that I need to put in? We talk about them all the time. Those positive affirmations that you've been using, they were used on the fake you. You were going the wrong way.
Right.
But you were going the wrong way real good.
Right.
Because you were just pumping yourself up. You didn't know your purpose. You were just doing what everybody else told you to do. You spent no time with God trying to figure anyththing out. So therefore you were just going the wrong way. And the wrong way is like what do you call it? It's like what do you call it? Well, I used to call it going to hell with gasoline draws on. But somebody else called it skating on ice or something like that. I don't know. But you were just going real fast the wrong way. And when you were doing that, all those positive affirmations, now you have to apply those. That's what you have to fill your core with, the positive affirmations, the I cans, I wills. All of those have to come in there. The I ams, those powerful things, they have a place. So now you put those in there and you start to challenge yourself. There comes the commitment, there comes the consistency, and there comes the communication. The 3 C's. Commitment, consistency, and communication. Right? Who are you communicating with? Yourself. Right? You're talking yourself through the process, because if you kicked everybody else out, the only other thing in there to mess you up is you. Right? So you have to talk to yourself. You have to keep giving yourself positive affirmations. You have to commit to yourself, commit to a routine, be consistent to habits, making habits. Routines create great habits, right? So now you have to be committed, consistent, and communicate with yourself constantly, because it's lonely in there. You got to boost yourself up, right? So in that core, it's green now, and you're building, you're growing. So all of these positive affirmations that you're pushing out there, you're ingesting yourself now. You're not saying them for anybody else to look good. When the mics go off and the camera goes off, I can't go back to doing the same thing I used to do, right? I have to follow my own rules, right? And I'm giving you guys, this is the things that I do. And I know Pam does these things as well, because she's moving in her own path right now toward her own purpose. And it's a lonely place, but it's a powerful.
It is. Yeah, it's very lonely, because you have to realize that not everybody's gonna agree. Not everybody's gonna understand. But when you take that time to really uncover, you discover, and now you're, just like you said, you're in that place, right? It's just you, right? You now have to, you got 2 choices. You're either going to fall back or you're going to move forward. And so it now gives you the opportunity to be able to hear and to listen and to do and to act accordingly to the purpose that each and every one of us as individuals have. Because many times when you're on this journey called life, and you allow different things to be thrust upon you, and so many things, may come upon you, and it's pressing you down, it's holding you down, and you may even be a part of something for, it may be God's plan for that particular moment, but you have to realize that you cannot lose self. And sometimes you can lose self and really not know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing. But when you take the time to spend that time, and now you take the time to understand the things that you should be doing for your life, for your purpose, then that is the time in which God is going to use you most. That's the time in which he really has put you in a position, because it's just you, right? So now you've separated, right, in order to create, in order to grow, in order to now decrease so that he can increase, and to really give you the things that you need to have in order to move forward. But to now understanding that, just like we talk about these fingerprints, right? We're individuals, right? So we're not designed to become a copy, right? We're designed to be unique as we've been created to be unique, but to definitely to ebb and to flow and to understand that there are certain situations, certain opportunities, certain relationships that we should be connected to. But you know what? In order to be able to identify those things, you got to back up and become raw and become, transparent with yourself in order to move yourself forward.
Absolutely. And that's good stuff. And I'm going to talk about a comment because I see it and I hear it all the time, right? I see it. And here's the thing. And it's a great comment. It's a great saying because we've all used it at some stage in our lives, but we should use it in every stage. And I'll show you how we apply it, okay?
Right.
Because when we're talking about this stuff, we have to know how to apply it. I see Christian Tyler Walker says, decrease so he can increase, right? So she's talking about humility, right? You're decreasing. Your humility is I'm decreasing to me on what I want so that I can increase more of what you want, God. Right? So if you're like, God, give it to me. So you've spent that one-on-one time in the discover and the uncover phase, right? You're there. So now he's giving it to you, right? But how is he giving it to you? That's the key. If you're still open, you can't stay open until you keep the 3 C's in front of you. Commitment, consistency, and communication with yourself. Because at this very moment is when the enemy comes in. Here's another one: to kill, steal, and destroy. Because you were fine as long as you were being oppressed. But now it's time to get you back on team deficit. It's time to get you back on team do nothing. Right. It's time to get you back on team no dreams. Right? But but that's what the average person does.
That's true.
So the first thing, here's what you have to realize in the very beginning of this, with your newfound space that you have. In the very beginning of this, Pam, you won't have all the answers.
No, you're not.
You won't have all of the answers. And I'm gonna give you guys 3 more things. This is the piece that people miss that they need. But you will not have the answers. And some of you feel that way right now. Mm-hmm. Some of you have already kicked some stuff out of your life and you've made some space. You're like, now I'm ready. I've paid down some bills. I've gotten rid of some stuff I don't need to have that's keeping me back. I've kicked some people out of my life. I've stopped doing some certain things that I was doing that was holding me back mentally and physically and financially. Now I've got this space. What do I do with this space that's in here? What do I do? Right? So now you don't have the answers. You're sitting there twiddling your thumbs like.
But you got to do something. You got to take action.
So I'll show you what that looks like before you get to the action phase. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because here's the thing. Before you get to the action phase, Pam is right. Before you get to the action phase, you got to be ready to take action, or else you're just going to be right back underneath where you were. Remember, we're still in the bubble. We're still building up. Right? So this first piece is you don't have all the answers, so start with the picture frame. Okay? What is the first thing you do when you dump a puzzle out onto the table? Right? You ain't gonna start with the middle.
No.
You're gonna start with the easiest parts.
Right.
You're gonna start with the outside because they're highly distinguishable.
Right. You can tell them corners.
You can tell them corners. All the ones with the straight lines and the curves. You know specifically what them 4 corners are.
Right.
And you can just feel. You don't even need to see the pieces, what colors they are. You just know. So once you fill that part in, right, it's the easiest part to do. Somebody's saying, "What is the picture frame?" The picture frame. You've already got the humility down, right? You've already got because we're talking about getting some traction. You already got the humility piece down. You've already uncovered, you discover, you're good, boom, you're ready, you're standing there all by yourself. Now you're creating this picture frame. The picture frame, ladies and gentlemen, is the easiest parts of the thing that you dream about the most. Now let's go back to what I said in the beginning. What do you really want? What do you really want? I ain't talking about what you thought you could have when you were laying underneath all that crap. Now that you're up, you're getting your legs back. What do you really want? Now your smiler still, now you fix your smiler because you ain't being oppressed no more. You fix your dreamer. Now you can dream some more. Now that you're dreaming, what do you really, really want? I don't know. I can't tell you what it is, but look at the things that you wrote down.
That's the key piece.
Right. Look at the things that you wrote down. It could be 1 thing, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a whole list.
Right.
But whatever those things are, I want you now to focus on the easiest parts of those things. Focus on one that you really want the most, right? And then get the easiest part. What can I do that I can control? What can I do this? Can I put this together? Can I settle this up? Can I write this down and get this blueprint in place? Can I get my picture frame going? Once you get your picture frame, from there you're just filling in the pieces.
Right.
But that's not the pieces. It's not the hard part. It's the patient part, right? If that makes sense to you guys, it's the patient part, right? Because now you've got now that you got your frame, right? And you're like, I see the big picture. I know what I want. I get it. I want that. I want that. I want to be on stages around the world. I want to be, talking to people with millions of people in the world. You want that. You know what it is, and you've created a picture frame for that. So now you've got a big dream, right? But you can't create a big dream, guys, with a little appetite, right? You got this big dream, and you're trying to feed it a little bit of food. So you got to feed it. We always call that eating with your elbows on the table. Right? So it's time to eat with your elbows on the table. So now you got a big dream. It's like going to the gas station. I got a Cadillac Escalade. If I put 87 octane in it, it don't go nowhere. I'm pushing the gas like it ain't going. Right. It's like, what's the deal? I got to put 91 or above in it in order to get it to go because it's heavy. It's big. What are you putting in your dreams right now? Switch your octane. If your dream is big, you got to put in some hot octane fuel. Absolutely. Right?
High energy. You got to put everything has to be big going into a big dream. Mm-hmm. So that means when your dream is big and that picture frame, you put together that picture frame, that means that everything that you do has got to be bigger than life. You got to make every single thing, that you have to do it's very important because it now is going to be the very thing that helps to fill in that picture frame. So therefore, you can't have a big dream. A big dream. Okay, there we go. You can't have a big dream and say that, I'm not going to get up today and go all in and go all out. You have to realize that the very things that will become our reality are going to be a representation of the things that we do today. So therefore, it means that you got to take the time to realize that it's going to require some sacrifice. It's going to require, putting in some work. It's going to require, going hard. During the moments, it's going to require you dreaming even bigger, so that you go from, believing to knowing. It's going to require a lot of us. Once you identify that thing, and now you're able to move forward to actually manifesting that dream, so that now it is your reality. But many times, that's where things begin to shift, because we have the big dreams and big goals, but so many people are unwilling to put in the work that's necessary in order to, complete that picture frame, or on the journey to filling in that picture frame. We have to realize that every day is not going to be a bowl of gravy, right? Every day there's going to be some challenges. Every day there's going to be some pain. Every day there's going to be something that comes in to try to touch that core, right? But when you strengthen the core and you now have identified what needs to be in it, because you're focused, it requires commitment. Just like you said, it requires, every day. Now you're able to recognize it in order to keep it out, right? So that it cannot come in, because your dream is so big. Your why is so big. You know what you want. But when you don't know what you want, you're going to be tossed and turned by every single win that comes your way. But when you know what you want and you know that you can absolutely accomplish it and you believe that it's possible, and now you get up every day, you're going to realize that, you know what, it don't even matter, and you're able to look at those things and to smile at the sight of it, because you really begin to realize that the greater the challenge, the greater the victory. That's one of the things that I always held on to as I began to smile in the midst of every single challenge, right? Every single pain, every single thing that we got to go through in order to grow through. I began to say, you know what, God, obviously you got some for real greatness on the other side of this. I don't understand it, but at this moment, but I can tell you that He is a God that won't fail you. And whereas you may not realize and recognize at the moment why it may be happening, you got to know that it's something that's necessary in order for you to get to the next level. So don't focus on that. Instead of smile and begin to really see that picture frame put together, understanding that all of this is a part of the process, right? You got to go through the process. You got to be processed in order to be the person that you need to be at that next level, right? In order to have things that are not just dormant on the inside of you to now be activated, because you had to go through those things in order to now realize that you even got those things on the inside of you. So when you begin to look at things for real differently, now things begin to happen differently in our lives, but you got to stay focused, right? You have to stay focused and to realize that, you know what, this thing is not supposed to be in here, so I'm not going to let it in, all right? But what am I supposed to learn from it? What am I supposed to do as far as growing from it? And what do I need to do in order to continue to move forward, to not allow this thing to distract me, to make sure that the noise stays completely turned off, so that now you're able to continue to focus and to get up every day and to continue to move.
Absolutely. Big dreams, small effort. You
Not
gotta
gonna
do a
work.
big effort. If you're gonna have big dreams, big effort. But I think sometimes the effort scares people.
Oh, it does.
They don't.
That's work.
The dream,
That's pain.
the effort that you have to put forward to get what you want causes people to dummy down their dream as opposed to upping their work ethic.
Right.
And I believe that's a common thing, because mediocrity is definitely it is a pandemic all in itself. It is a dream killer. Mediocrity is a disease.
Right.
And if people want more, they have to do more above average. So here's the thing. So I want to get right quickly into the meat and potatoes here and how you actually start to regain some of your power, because to this point, you've been defining some things in your life and trying to figure out what you really, really want, you know. And as you figure out what you really, really want, then you come to the realization that you have to start putting in the work for it. And you've got the frame put together, so now you have to go through the tedious process of what, as Pam just said, of putting the pieces in. And sometimes we get frustrated with trying to find the right piece, but it's not finding the right piece that you should be concerned with. It's you doing what needs to be done, the little things, and allowing the pieces to fall in place, because they will at this point. Right. But so if you push it too hard, you're like, I got to do this. I got to get here. I'm not saying don't have goals, but what I am saying is that go through your process, be patient. It's just like anything else, right? If you never put anything in, and you've got, if you got $10 in the bank, and you never put anything else in the bank, you're gonna go back a week later, you're still gonna have $10 in the bank, right? So you have to keep putting more in order to get more out. Uh-huh. And it's the same in life, right? So you have to make sure that now you figure out some things in life. So now you have to constantly eat. You have to constantly challenge yourself. You have to constantly be growing, because if you're not, it shows. It does. It shows. And now when you're not growing, now the outside stuff starts to come back in, right? So now you're at this point and you're saying, God, give me the pieces that I need, and I'm just going to get in this thing and I'm just going to move. How do you start that movement? You start that movement, ladies and gentlemen, by yourself. Right? This all starts with you because it's your dream, it's your vision, right? It's your purpose, it's your destiny. You're going on your own path to fulfill that thumbprint, right? You're the individual that God created to do something that nobody else could do the way you do it. Yeah, you may be able to cook pies, like my man Steve Harvey says. You can cook some pies, but there's something about your pies that you do that nobody else does to make them great, right? So you have to figure that thing out. Once you figure it out, guys, now here's where the tribe kind of comes into play, okay? Here's where you're going to get the most scrutiny, right? You need a tribe of people, and the tribe sounds big, but the tribe doesn't have to be big.
No.
The tribe consists of you first. So now you gotta do what you do along the path that you're doing it on, right? And then your tribe, your purpose, your passion, your hunger, your destiny that you're on, your path actually attracts people that are on the same path that you're on, right? And now you get people in. They have the work ethic that you have. They not only know their vision, but they see your vision, right? And they have to submit themselves to your vision. Here's what it gets missed sometimes. I believe that when, and I'll give you guys a great example, and I've used this example before, because everything you do on the path to your destiny, guys, it is a part of your story.
Right.
It's a part of your process, and you have to embrace every piece of it. I can take even this show started 3+ years ago, right? Everything that I've talked about on this show, everything that we've learned, everything that we've it's been blood, sweat, and tears, right? And it's all a part of the process. And nothing's been charged. Nobody's charged anything. This is all free, right? This is all free. I've been the epitome of monetizing free. Right. So now what I'm getting from this is growth. Right. It's growth. And that's what you want when you're in your core. You want to grow to a point to where now when it's time to step out of the bubble, it's not foreign to you. You've grown enough to be able to step outside of the bubble. You got something in
to be able to give.
But you know that what's here is the spirit of who you are, and people pay for that. Right? That's what they pay for. Not the words that come out of your mouth. People pay for the spirit that those words are said in. Right? And that's just an example. You take, I'll give you another example. You take people like, and I use it all the time, Kevin Hart. He's got his Red Cup crew, right? Guess what? That Red Cup crew, you didn't see any of those guys while Kevin was going through. But guess what? They were there. While Kevin was going through his process, they were there. Jay-Z, same thing. Jay-Z, you can take anybody that has a level of success and they're going through their process. Nobody really sees them. Nobody really knows them on that level, but they always have a tribe. You got a tribe that's in the background, that's there. Right. And guess what? Just because you're there helping Kevin realize his vision, it doesn't mean they don't have one. Right. They have their own vision. And in reality, a good tribe leader understands and recognizes that you have a vision. I have a vision. It's just that my vision is further along than yours. So grab on here. Grab on and help me, right? Move this thing to the side. Let's lock up. Let's lock arms and let's move together. And here's the thing about tribe that people miss. Okay, here's the thing about tribe. I can't do what Pam does, and Pam can't do what I do. Right? So that means Pam has the way that she does things, right? When me and Pam get out of this house and go somewhere, right? And we go and we start when all this stuff over, we go and we start doing a live show, right? We start a live seminar, and guess what? They're gonna be people that come because they love Pam and the way she talks and what she says. People are gonna come because they love me and the way, because not everybody likes. Like for me, I had to realize not everybody likes, I'm gonna be up in your face telling you what you need to do, and let's get it done because time waits for no man. Let's get going. I'm here to get you successful as quick as possible. Not everybody's ready for that. That's true. Right? Some people want a different approach. So your tribe is the tribe that handles all of that. Right? You're diverse at this point, right? So I'm not trying to change Pam. I don't expect Pam, like that's why when Pam asked me, What are we going to talk about today? Well, this is what we're talking about, right? This is the Power Series. Boom, it's boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And I said, I'm not giving you anything to say. You got to come up. You got to say what's in here.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's
Because
not in there. They ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah. Well, look.
Right.
Why am I going? Look. Here's my thing. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours.
Right.
That's your power. You
Right.
have to realize what is your power,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then somebody else that has no power will come along and try to take your power, as historically they have, right? And you've allowed that repeatedly in your life. That's why you were down. Now you're up. Hold on to your power, right? It's yours. It's what feeds you. It's what drives you. It's what motivates you every day. It's that core, right? So don't give your stuff away to somebody else because it's yours, but promote your stuff, right? The way, like, promote somebody. Like, I want Pam to be who she is. I don't want Pam to become me, right? Pam is more, I would say, motivational than I am, right? Pam can be a bit more spiritual than I am, right? I'm not saying that she's a super spiritual person. But what I am saying, she can be more spiritual, more Pam can be a bit more preachy than I can sometimes. But that's her thing, right? That's Pam's thing. When Pam gets rolling, but I need that. The tribe needs that, right? So Pam, let's just say 2 more people come into the tribe. They've got their own power. Right. It's something that they bring to the tribe.
To the table. They bring to the tribe. Right?
Yeah. Some people in any tribe, you got to have your own power that you bring in, but you can't have your own power. You can't have your own power if you're still being subdued. It has to be somebody that has been through the bubble, somebody that's been in the bubble and they've taken care of what it means to actually grow inside of this bubble, to regrow themselves, re-realize your vision. You've got the people that are the most successful, they have their vision written down. They know exactly what they want. They put diagrams up. They say, this is how this is going to be. This is going to happen like this. I visualize everything in my mind. I'm dreaming big. I got the big picture. And I got the frame in place. And when that happens, you have to find some other people that understand that concept as well. And when that happens, it's like you're driving down the road and you see something catches your view. You're like, oh shoot, they're in my path. That's awesome. I'm vibing with them now, right? You can almost say that your vibe is going to attract your tribe, right? So that's an easy scenario. You don't have to break stride. It's just like you're in a relay race.
It's natural.
What do they do? Yeah, what do they do in a relay race? If they stand there and get the baton, then the momentum stops. And who's always the fastest? What's the fastest guy go? When's he go? The fastest guy goes last.
And he goes last.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you got a good starter. You got a good starter, right? He's pretty fast himself because he needs to get it going. And then you've got 2 or 3 more guys in the middle that may not be as fast, right? But then you've got that last guy. He gets that baton, but he doesn't wait for you to hand it to him.
No.
He starts running at a pace,
grab that thing.
and you got to catch up with him. And when you grab it, you're gone, right? But you got to find that verse. I call it that's the anchor man, but I also talk about anchor stores, right? You go to Neiman Marcus, you go there, but you may see Macy's, you may see what's another store, man? Macy's, Dillard's. You may see all these stores, but it's not the anchor store. Right. You went there because the anchor store, Neiman Marcus, has got them $1,000 shoes in it, them $2,000 jackets, and them red bottoms, and all of that stuff that you dream of having. You go in there to buy one, and then you're probably going to go down here. So at some point in time, what's Nordstrom and Dillard's doing? They're buying time and they're tapping into this vision so that they can become an anchor store at some point, right? I hope you guys are getting this, because this is how it is. And anybody that's telling you anything other than this, guys, I got to tell you, then they're not really looking to have you tap into your personal power, because that's what this whole thing in life is all about. You got to find who you are. And once you find who you are, you got to find a tribe that you vibe with. Right. And you guys take this thing and move it from level to level. And it's going to take some patience. I can tell you, I know patience.
And that's the key. You know, when you find that tribe that you vibe with, it encourages growth for all. You know, it allows you to be able to create in that lane, in the midst of that atmosphere. It allows you to be able to be you, and to really recognize the strengths that you have, so that now they can begin to grow and to begin to really allow you to create the things that you were designed to create. But you're right, it absolutely takes patience. You know, the journey is for real all about patience, understanding that, you know, it's going to take some time. But time, just like we talk about, time is not on our side. So that means that we have to leverage every single moment. We have to move every single moment. We have to be able to do something necessary that's going to allow us to move that dream, to move that vehicle, to move that goal, to move that desire, to move whatever it is that we know that we want to create that should be a part of this picture frame, that we have to get up every single day and to take the actions that are necessary, but realizing that it may not happen, you know, like that. But many times what ends up happening is because of the journey, people give up, right? Because they start to allow some things that should be back in that parking lot, right? That should, you know, never even make it to the lobby, right? Now you allow some of these things, and see, you might just say, you know, tomorrow, or, you know, I'll take care of that later, or whatever. Now you're looking up and things are beginning to creep back in, right? Because you're not working on you every single day. You're not working on your dreams, your goals every single day. You know that God told you to do something, but you're sitting back making excuses. And so now those things start to creep back in little by little, because it doesn't happen, right? Just like we said, the wheels don't just fall off, right? They start to wobble, but it's because of the fact that those things that were on the outside, right? You allow them back into the parking lot. Now you look up and they're part of the court, and now you got to get them back out. But we all have the opportunity and the capability to not allow those things back in. But how do you do it? You got to work on this every single day. You got to pour into this every single day, because the more you strengthen the mind, because what the mind can conceive and believe, it can absolutely achieve. Right. So you got to work on this every single day, so that now you have the right mindset in order to move forward, in order to be able to create, because now you're in the position to be able to go through the things that you need to go through, right? To have the patience that it's going to take, to realizing that you got that vision in front of you. The vision is big, right? The goal is big. You got the frame, but you got to be patient with putting the pieces together, knowing that one day that puzzle will become an absolute picture that's all put together with the different pieces. And every single piece is going to represent some struggle. Every single piece is going to represent some growth. Every single piece is going to represent some faith. Every single piece is going to represent you understanding the potential that that's on the inside of you. Every single piece is going to represent some pain. Every single piece is going to represent some love. Every single piece is going to represent some joy. Every single piece may even represent some tears. So when you understand all of this stuff, is going to literally allow that puzzle to become that picture that you always visualize and always dreamed of. It's going to take all of this in order for it to come together, but it will come together. But you got to be patient with the process that's necessary in order for it to become the beautiful thing that we already had in front of us, visualize, knowing that it will one day be our reality.
One day.
One day.
Yeah.
Right.
We talk about so many different things. Patience. You said be patient with your process. You know, and we also talk about, you know, hurry up, let's go. Mm-hmm. You know, be with your elbows on the table. You know, it's time for you to actually take back what God said was yours.
Right.
So we talk about all of these things. You know, we're saying that, you know, yeah, drive it like a Ferrari, mm-hmm. right? But guess what? You know, you have to drive that Ferrari responsibly, right? So you want to take the limiters off and you want to move to wherever you want to be, dream big, guys, but have a big enough effort to actually achieve those dreams. And if you don't, you get to that point where you realize, okay, I'm a little behind, then increase the effort. Don't dummy down the dream. Right. So it keeps you moving. It keeps you motivated. And it's that core that's going to always keep you going. As Pam just said, if you don't let the wrong things back in your core, and then it's easier to keep moving. And guys, I know sometimes that seems easier said than done, because we always say, don't put yourself back in the bad situations. And I said in the beginning of the show, I said, I'm called to love everybody, right? And I love you. It don't mean I like what you do, right? So if I don't like what you do, I don't want you in the green area. I don't want you in the core. If I don't like what you do, I don't want you in the lobby. Don't even come in the building. Stay in the parking lot, because I can keep you at bay out there, right? So how do you lock these different levels? You lock these different levels, guys, by setting your own baseline, right?
That's true.
This is what I'll stand for. This is what I won't stand for.
Absolutely.
This is what I like. This is what I don't like.
You gotta know.
We get so caught up.
You don't know.
And we get so caught up in doing things because other people expect them of us. And it's no fault of anyone else's. Is this feeding me or is it not? Is it growing me or is it not?
Right.
And is this time well spent right now so that I can realize my vision, so that I can get to where I want to be? And you have to be. We always say that great leaders are able to make the tough decisions, right? And the great leaders, and everybody's a leader in my opinion, because you got to lead yourself. That's the most important person that you're leading. Great leaders make the tough decisions. Yeah, going into the store, I'm not going to go down that aisle with stuff on it that I know is bad for me. I'm not even going to turn down there.
Right.
If I need a loaf of light bread and I know that's down there by the ho-hos and the ding-dongs and Twinkies, I'm not even going down that aisle because I ain't strong enough yet to not pick some of them.
You always got to go down the
See, these are the things that, those things that pique, things that pique people's interest. And see, when I say that kind of like, for everybody, it picks at a scab.
Right.
Because people, that's probably one of the wounds that heals the physical. It's, that's one of the hardest things. It's easy to tell yourself you're going to do something, but it's another thing to do it.
Right.
And I can be the first person to say, guys, I miss it. Sometimes I miss it, but here's the thing. I don't miss it consistently, right? I don't miss it every day. It's like I don't get up and say, think I'm going to fail today. Think I'm just going to be terrible at whatever I do. And we may not verbally say those words, but our actions say those things, right? So if we get up and we got a pantry full of crap, we get up and we got a whole bunch of junk running through our ear gates every day, but then we want to be motivational and inspirational, it doesn't work that way.
No, it don't work.
There's
that
nothing in there. So the moment somebody asks you to say something or do something, you immediately get afraid, because the only thing you got on the inside is junk. So the only thing you can give out is junk.
That's right.
So if we understand how this process works, ladies and gentlemen, it is a matter of you controlling that core and not letting anything or anybody inside that's going to throw you off your game. And it's going to take patience. It's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. It's going to be some pain. It's going to be there. But guess what? What's gotten you where you are thus far is the things that you've done thus far. So the only way to change things is to change things. So here we are, right where we are. You have to make a decision, as we talked about on the last two shows. Make a decision to change. Start with changing the small things in your life, right? And start seeing how they're affecting you. And then you move up to the bigger things, right? And as you do that, guys, now you're creating a different person. Now you're rising from the ashes, and now you're not worried about stepping out that door and what everybody else sees, because now, you can carry around the Bible under your arm. You can be seen with a nice personal development book all the time. You can put on the waist thing that sucks your waist in. You can put on the pants that slim you, and that Just see these things I'm saying right now makes people feel uncomfortable, right? That's why Pam laughs all the time when I talk about this, right? And I know y'all laugh too. Some of y'all like, how dare he talk about that? But why we talk about everything else?
Right. That's
because you don't want to talk about this because this is probably the area that you need help in, right? So now you instead of doing the things to cover up, go from the inside out, right? If you really want to have the mindset that you want to have, put the right stuff in. That's not the issue that makes people mad when I say that. We talk about personal development all the time, right? If you want to get the good stuff out, put good stuff in. Read more, listen to more audio, feed yourself good stuff, ear gates, eye gates, right? And if you want to have a better body, a better physical well-being, start putting the right stuff in here, right? Put the right stuff in here. And if you start doing that, guess what? You don't have to worry about putting on the sucking them up, the slimming pants, and guys, we got the man vest now. We put that on, zip it up, and we don't got no belly anymore. Right? I ain't just talking about the ladies. I'm talking. See, you don't get no love for any of this because this is the part when you're scratching that scab and people don't like that because it hurts the most.
Right.
It takes the most sacrifice, right? And I'm not above that, guys. Yeah, I got to get my abs. But I'm not. But here's the thing: everybody says, I want to see how I look in that picture. You look the way you look, right? You are who you are. Hold the camera up like this so I can look slim. No, stop eating when you start looking slim. Right? You know what I'm saying? See Pam laugh every time I say that. She tries to break the monotony. You know what I'm saying? But this is real talk, guys. And this is tough love. We can talk about everything else on the planet, but we're in it right now. We have a worldwide pandemic going on. And people, we've lost lives right now because this COVID thing is killing people. Some of you have lost loved ones. It's having a healthy immune system, creating a body now that can fight more, can fight this stuff. Mm-hmm. And if we do that, we don't have to worry about leaving here before our time. Put the good stuff in, guys. There's a reason why you have one tongue, one mouth, 2 eyes, 2 ears. There's a reason. If we understand the reasoning behind that, guys, then we take that clue and we say, I want to put the right stuff here. I want to put the right stuff here, right? I don't want to get the right stuff here so that I can change my thinking. If I change the thinking, then I can change the way I do things. And that's just reality, guys. Whether that hurts you or not, then maybe the pain is good right now. So we're going to come back on Friday.
Yep.
And we're going to finish this up, and we're going to talk about dominating. We're going to talk about the action that you need to take to get the traction in your life. We're going to talk about how to put your business ventures together, how to actually start getting traction in the things that you said you really, really wanted to do. And we're going to put some practicality to it for you guys and give you some examples so that you understand that, okay, now the newfound me with my newfound purpose, going with my uniqueness, now I'm in tune. How do I completely dominate in the marketplace, right? We're coming out of the bubble on Friday. Coming out of the bubble on Friday, all right?
When you
we're going to show you guys how to work outside the bubble.
Come out of that bubble.
Because you're ready.
And dominate and take this thing to the next level. That's what it's all about, right? Be patient. Work on you every day. So, no, that's good stuff. So, again, we appreciate everybody for jumping on the grind this morning, this Tuesday morning. We truly appreciate everyone who dialed into the grind. And if you missed any part of this episode, you can go back and obviously we are on Facebook. But IG, you're going to lose your IG. You can go to www.blogtalkradio.com/thegrind101. Meaning between time, y'all go out. All right, we in that bubble, right? We identify, we uncovering, we defining exactly what we want. And guess what? Once you define and you know without a shadow of a doubt what you want in this life, what you deserve, what your purpose is, you will become unstoppable. And on Friday, we're going to talk about how to now take that thing to the next level and dominate. So we'll see you all back on Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Y'all go out, be great. All right? Because that's what you were created to be.
Let us sing forever of His saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice. Years all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. I want to hear that one time, 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 one time. Ooh, I just want to hear that way. One time, 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 one time. All I want to do is say it. My name is what's coming. That's all I really need. Just I can't wait till I see you. Gave me my gift, go out the bag. You feel me when I'm gonna give it back to you. You give me my love, so you know I love him. And now I'll give it back, so you know I'm all in. Lord, take what tell to my family. I want you to know that you have me. I need to know that you're happy. Yeah, when I finally stop breathing again. One time, 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 one time. Oh, just wanna hear you say. One time, 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 one time. All I wanna do is say it. My name is just calling one time. That's all I really need, just one time. I can't wait till I see you one time. Wanna wake up in my heavenly home. All my people bow down to the King of the throne. Oh, wait a minute. Gold Street, Gold Mansion. Just because I look gone with a passion. Can't get you when I get, but if you're asking, he'll give you that back in your life. Living without a praise. Sometimes I still get amazed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Praise for all of my Jesus. Tell them to leave, stop breathing, yeah. One time, 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 one time. Oh, just wanna hear you say, one time, one time, one time, one time, one time, one time, one time. Don't you know? Forever, forever.